What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Highlight of Business podcast for business people. And today I'm joined by a new business friend, Steve Nissim, and you're not going to miss him. And I had to say that just because it's in my head, Steve, and that's how I was going to make sure we didn't jack your name up. Thanks for joining me, man. Welcome to the show.
My pleasure, Chandler. And hey, you did it perfectly. I set
Hey,
you up with it, and you had the whole thing. You had it perfectly.
well, nobody here is listening is seeing the virtual green room we had before this, where I was just stumbling all over that. So I appreciate your gracious spirit of helping me get through it.
The money moment that counts, and you got it.
That's it. That's it. When the lights come on, baby, we're here. So I'd love for you to take a couple seconds and just sort of tell everybody who you are and how you and I got connected.
All right. Well, my name is Steve Nissim, and I work for the Student Community Institute in Pensacola, Florida, which is a nonprofit designed to make the community a better place to live. And one of the ways we do that is by putting on EntreCon, which is a leadership, business, entrepreneurship conference, 2-day, world-class, high-level speakers from across the country. And this year that includes Mr. Chandler Lyles, and that's kind of how we got connected. And we're gonna talk about that, talk about his appearance and everything Student Community Institute does, but specifically, EntreCon, why it's a great conference, why they're very lucky here in Pensacola to have something like this. This is the type of thing they put on in big cities. That's kind of why our founder, Quinn Studer, put this thing here. So people around here can have the opportunity to develop their leadership skills without having to spend an arm and a leg and travel, several hours away.
Hey, I am, of all the places I could have gone and spoke, Florida at this time of year is going to be great. I'm perfectly fine to get out of the Nashville winter weather in early November and come see you guys in Pensacola.
Yeah, no, it's awesome down here. You're going to love it.
So are you from there? How did you end up at Studer?
No, well, I'm from New York originally, actually from New York City, from Queens. Went to college at Florida State, and then I was a sportscaster, a TV sportscaster for many years. Worked throughout the Southeast, and I worked here in Pensacola for over 20 years at the local ABC affiliate. Loved the job; it was fun. Loved talking about sports. But I developed a relationship with Quinn Studer, who is an unbelievable, successful business owner, philanthropist, and leadership expert. He owns the minor league baseball team here, the Blue Wire, who's a Double-A affiliate, and I kind of developed a relationship with him through that. And he has a fantastic organization. So a few years ago, I was lucky enough to join him. He created a position for me called Chief Storyteller, which I can't say that often enough. I do love telling stories, whether it's sports or whether it's business or whether it's people. So I've had the opportunity to do that with his organization for the last couple of years, and it's just been fantastic. I mean, we do so many different things. He kind of this was about 9 years ago when he started it. What do we need to do to make the community better? They kind of realized that early brain development was a huge thing because kindergarten readiness was way behind here, which led to kids staying behind. So they have all these programs, all research into it. The first 3 years of life, 85% of the brain is developed. So they have all these different programs starting in the hospitals to kind of educate parents on what they can do to build their child's brain. So they have that. We have these unbelievable entrepreneur programs that this venture mentoring service, which is like a free service where you have a group of mentors that mentor you in an ongoing fashion. It's been unbelievably impactful for a lot of entrepreneurs around here because that's another thing he realized. Okay, entrepreneurs, small businesses, that's the lifeblood of a community, and if we can help them succeed, that's going to help everybody rise up. So we have those programs, and then we have all these business and leadership development programs. We do symposiums, throughout the year, and those kind of lead up to EntreCon, which is kind of the signature event. So there's all kind of stuff that we do to make the community better. And for me, I get to tell all the stories. So, it's been a joy for me.
Well, I definitely want to dive into EntreCon here in a minute, but you kind of started to answer my next question, which was, what exactly is Chief Storyteller? Is that like, are you like making Pixar 2.0 there in Pensacola, or like is it hey, we need our own version of the local news, but more positive stories? I mean, you just told a great story there, so I mean, please feel free to fill the rest of this episode with just story after story. That makes my job easy.
That's kind of what it is. So I put together video stories that we put out on social media. We show at events. We show to people that want to get involved, people that want to donate, why they should help us. In our causes. So I'll go and with the early brain development stuff, and talk to some moms. We'll go to the hospital and see the information they're getting, the impact it has on them. And, I produce stories like that and kind of follow some of them along and these other programs. And I've done stories on some entrepreneurs that have gone through our venture mentoring service, and I followed them for like a year. And it was almost like a documentary type story where, okay, here's where they were. We went to a lot of the different sessions. A lot of these mentors also follow them and go to their, go on site to their business. I'll just give you one quick example. Native Cafe is a restaurant down on the beach here, Pensacola Beach. They're in our program, and they were successful, but they were looking to grow and expand. They joined VMS, and they have this team of mentors. One of their mentors is Bert Thornton, who is a legend at Waffle House. He was one of the guys that started Waffle House. He was there in the early days. He was the COO. He was their president. He's their vice chairman emeritus now. Anyway, imagine a restaurant getting advice from someone like that for free on an ongoing basis, and it's done wonders for them because they just expanded their business, and they owe a lot to their VMS mentors. And there's plenty of examples of other stories so I get to do those kind of stories. That's a joy for me because it's fascinating stuff. It's difference making stuff. And I get to share that and be kind of on the ground floor and see all the work that's going on and the impact it's having.
Dude, I am a little envious. I'm not gonna lie. My first business was a barbecue restaurant. So I did 4 years in the Air Force. I was a contract specialist, so I spent government money and did all the fun things. And then I started a barbecue restaurant with my family. And if I could have talked to one of the higher ups at Waffle House when we were trying to figure out how to scale that thing and grow, I wouldn't have crashed the damn thing. And I'd probably still be running barbecue and we wouldn't even be talking now. So it's a really cool service that you guys go out of your way to provide. And I think there's two things there that I want to point out as super valuable as I'm seeing from the outside looking in. One, there is the actual help that entrepreneur is getting from mentors in the program, from their peers, from people inside of y'all's organization, like all of that, really, really valuable. But beyond that, it's what you're doing as the storyteller. So like media content, that's something we're really passionate about on my team, High Beam Marketing. We have a behind the scenes vlog. We're telling the story of High Beam and how we're building it, and we do content all over the place. And that was one of the things I did to the barbecue restaurant was like, we just sort of had a day in the life video series where it followed me and my parents around as we tried to build this barbecue restaurant up. I'm trying to think how to say this. When you're starting a business, there's not a lot of options out there for real helpful business advice. It tends to either be MBA type level stuff for bigger companies, or it's internet gurus that are sort of shady and want to sell you a course at the end of the day. Yeah. And there's really not a lot of in between where it's like good, high entertaining content. So I'd love for you to expand on when you guys are going in to like follow these businesses, like this is a selfish question for me. How do you frame those conversations? How do you know what to keep in? Like how much realness is too real? Like what is the audience looking for? What's helpful for people to actually go out and see in those videos?
Well, let me start by saying that this program, Venture Mentoring Service, it started at MIT, at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Mm-hmm. They developed it. They still use it there. And then a lot of other communities, not that many, it's about 100-something worldwide, have adopted it and used it. And we brought it, Student Community Institute brought it here to Pensacola. And it's based on team mentoring. So that's kind of their process. It's not just one mentor. You have a team of mentors. You take what you want. You get different thoughts from different people. Mm-hmm. And it's all volunteers. All the mentors are volunteers that have had success. They want to give back. And, we have over 40 mentors, and they're just like unbelievable people in the community that have had great success in so many different areas, just entrepreneurs, banking, lawyers, restaurants, everything. And they just want to be a part of it. And they get a lot of satisfaction just out of helping other people and also being around other successful people. So it's just fascinating how it works. And, there's a limited amount of companies that we can take. So twice a year, we put it out there for applications, and we take, usually like 5 each time. So maybe 10 each year is kind of the pace we're on right now of adding companies. We have about, I think, 35 or 37 that we've helped, over the 3 years that we've been doing it. So obviously the more we can do it, the better. But there's a selection process for it. And it's up to we end up this, once we pick the mentees, then we kind of pair them with what mentors we have and who has spots. And, that can evolve sometimes. You can start to realize, okay, hey, this other guy would be actually better because he knows more about your specific area, and they might switch it around. But it's really fascinating. It's made a huge impact for so many businesses because it's so hard, as you know, to be an entrepreneur. It's very, very difficult. You can have all the attributes. You can be brilliant. You can be a great at whatever your entrepreneur venture is. But the business aspect of it, there's so many different roadblocks, and to get that kind of expertise on an ongoing basis, it's a huge difference maker. And the more people, not just here in the Pensacola area, but everywhere, that can be a part of a program like that. If you can create a program like this, it's a winner for your community.
Yeah. It's really, it's interesting when you start a business, you've spent a lot of your time learning how to do the thing. So like in my instance, barbecue, right? I spent a lot of time learning how to cook really good barbecue. Well, then all of a sudden I opened a barbecue business, and that didn't matter anymore. It now really mattered that I knew how to run a business. I had a new job the day I started an actual barbecue business. So to have a educational arm and a nonprofit like you guys do is such a valuable resource to any business community. Do you remember, or maybe have you heard the story of how they got all that started there in the Pensacola area, and maybe some other people can take that same lesson to their city wherever they are?
Yeah, they had a group from here at the Student Community Institute before I was here, but they went up to Massachusetts to meet with the guys that started the program, that run that program up at MIT. They learned about how it works, and how to kind of get a kick started in your community. And they came back here and got it done. One of the guys actually that used to work for SCI is now the mayor of Pensacola, DC Reeves. He was in on that initial venture up there to learn about it, and he was instrumental in putting that together. And he's now gone on to become the mayor of Pensacola. So there was a group of other ones that went up there, and they just kind of got the lay of the land and did it. And they actually started during COVID, which was incredible. They were able to pull it off in 2020 is when they got it going. And the guys from MIT, they actually came down, I think it was last year. This guy, Sherwin Greenblatt, who was one of the founders of Bose. He's been the president of Bose. Anyway, he came down and along with somebody else, and they were kind of amazed at how quickly and how successfully SCI has been able to use this program and grow it and help businesses here. But that's how it happened.
That's super cool. Hopefully he brought some headphones down for you guys. Be like, focus work time. You can put the headphones in and call it a day.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
So to the main star of the dish, I guess here it's EntreCon's coming up. We're a month away from the time we're recording this, and probably around 3 weeks ish away by the time the episode comes out. So like, what is EntreCon, and like who should come to that? Who is coming to that? To fill us in.
So EntreCon is our business leadership and entrepreneurship conference. This will be the 9th year that we run it. We run it for 2 days. This year it's November 1st and 2nd. And it is jam-packed with speakers, with knowledge, with networking. It's an unbelievable event just to grow yourself as a human being and as a business person, as an entrepreneur. So the type of speakers we bring in from across the country is just phenomenal. We usually have 6 keynote speakers, and then we have 3 breakout tracks. So we have 12 other speakers, and then we have other sessions as well. There's lunch and learn sessions. And actually, Bert Thornton, who I mentioned earlier, he's doing one of the lunch and learn sessions about first impressions. And so the speakers are incredibly successful people. We've got this year, Dan Collard is one of ours. He's been a huge success in healthcare. He's been an executive, and he's going to talk about bouncing back and how you can turn tough times into triumph. He's got some principles there. We have Julie Birch is coming this year. This is her 3rd time. She's a leadership coach from Texas, and this is the 3rd time in the last year that she's done a presentation for us, and there's a reason that we keep bringing her back. First of all, she's like a stand-up comic level comedian. She's hilarious. And then she also has unbelievable.
She was cracking me up when I saw her clip.
Okay, so
it was so
her,
funny.
Yeah. She's. I mean, it's like you're going to a comedy show, but you're also learning unbelievable lessons and great advice. She did one on time management, which was really good. She did one last year on becoming a change leader, how to handle change, and the one that she's doing this time is on stress. The future is stressful is the name of her session, and she's going to give you a lot of tips and techniques on how to cope with, how to turn stress to a positive, and those kind of things. So it's just great speakers, some local ones. Chad Henderson, who has created he's a Pensacola guy, and he's created this business, Catalyst Healthcare Real Estate, and he's grown it into like a national type business. So he's going to talk about his journey and how he overcame a lot of obstacles, turned adversity into positives. So it's just people like that. I can go on with the type of speakers we've had. Last year we had this guy Rohan Freeman from Connecticut. He's a hugely successful in real estate, but also he's a mountaineer, and he's like scaled the top 7 mountains in the world. So he gave us a talk about how he combined these different theories that work in both. They work for entrepreneurship and they work for mountaineering. And it's just, you meet some fascinating people. Don Yeager did one a couple of years ago. He's a famous sports journalist. He did one on great teams. So there's so many things you pick up. And then we have these different breakout tracks as well. And there's hundreds of people come together for this. Most of them are in the Pensacola area, but some come from out of area as well to be a part of it. And I think I mentioned earlier, a big part of why Quint did this, you have conferences like this, but they're usually in big cities. So we wanted to bring one here to Pensacola so that people in this area wouldn't have to spend so much money to go travel somewhere else. They could do it right here. And it's been a huge success for 9 years, and it's going strong. So we love it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to come. There was 2 reasons I really wanted to get involved with you guys this year. Reason number 1 was the speakers you guys bring in are actual doers. Everybody that I saw on the docket that was coming in to talk was actually somebody that had built a successful business, was doing the thing, and seemed like really good people. You know what I mean? They weren't gurus. They weren't like trying to sell a book. There was no manipulation involved. I felt like it was like I was going to be around people that were like me, that were trying to build their own businesses and grow. And then, and piggybacking on that, like the actual couple hundred people that are going to be in the audience attending, like you're talking about top business leaders in the area, top business owners, entrepreneurs, and maybe even a few people that want to start their own businesses. I'm really excited for the community that you guys have built there, and that we get to come hang out. And like, I'm really excited to meet and mingle and hang out and do all the things with everybody there. It's going to be cool. And the warm weather is a nice plus November 1st and 2nd.
No doubt.
For me.
I'll tell you, the networking is a big part of it, because just the presentations alone are enough. I mean, you get so much out of that. But the networking opportunities, we kind of set it up where there's some chances to just meet and greet, talk to people you haven't seen in a while, people that you wanted to talk to, and there's just a lot that goes on. I mean, as you know, you get all these entrepreneurs and business types together. The ideas are flowing, people are meeting each other, and it's kind of sparking a lot of conversations and sparking a lot of maybe endeavors together, or at least conversations that help each other. And one of the things that we added last year, a feature, is this thing called Candid Conversations. And it's one of the breakout tracks. And we actually have 2 sessions. And there's like 4 different topics. And there's like 2 tables. So basically it's like a round table. So it's like an hour sitting down with a certain topic. And everybody, there's a facilitator that kind of leads it, but then everybody throws ideas off of each other. And this is something that we, SCI, we used to do, and we still do some roundtables. And this is just business leaders getting together, talking through things, going through ideas, and bouncing stuff off each other. And that's, as you can imagine, that's tremendously fruitful, those kind of conversations. And so the Candid Conversations is the cool thing we added last year. It was a big success. We're bringing that back this year as well. There's a bunch of sessions so everybody can kind of get in on it on different topics. And we have a lot of local people also that are local experts that are going to give different talks. We have an entrepreneur track, we have a community track, we have a leadership track, and it's just a great way to spend a couple of days, bettering yourself and sharing yourself as well. And it's it's just a great conference.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, as a business leader, you got to take time to work on yourself and work on your business, because if all you're ever doing is staying in the thing, in the grind, in the day-to-day, it may work for a little while, but eventually you'll either burn out or your ideas will get really stale and you will fall behind at some point. And so taking time away, even though it seems counterintuitive, to take a break and pause and go spend money and step back and like get around other people like this, it's going to be huge. And I highly recommend this conference based on what I've seen. I'm excited to come. Steve, where can we go to learn more about EntreCon, and what can we do to support you guys?
You can go to the website, EntreConPensacola.com. And on there, you can find the agenda, you can find the speakers, and you can sign up and register and get your tickets. So that's kind of the best way on there. And actually, if you go on that website, there's a story I did last year, the EntreCon experience. So I followed two people as they went through the EntreCon experience, and they went to the different sessions, and one went to one track, and one went to the other track, and just talk to them like certain time periods after different sessions, and then again at the end, and just got a feel for what the experience is like for someone going to it. And I was already sold obviously beforehand, but just going through that, it enhanced it in my mind, because you see how much people are really getting out of it. They were talking after each session. It was amazing to me what they were recalling, what stood out to them. It's something that they can change, or something that they can use in their business or in their life. And the whole networking part of it, and people that they met during this, and how that's going to expand, their zone and their way of thinking. So, it's like an 8-minute story. It's almost like a documentary type story, but I encourage you to watch that if you go on the front page of the website, because it gives you a really good idea of what this experience is like, because it's a difference maker.
Well, Steve, I feel like you're earning the Chief Storyteller title, man. I think they're in good hands there with you at the Studer Institute, man. I appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing a little bit of your passion and your journey and how you got here. And we're looking forward to seeing you down there in Pensacola here in a couple weeks. And we appreciate everybody else that's out there listening. And we will see you next week. Peace.